Hello, everyone. I'm Aneta Itchak, and thank you for joining me for another episode of the Slow and Embodied Living journey. Today, I want to talk about seasonal living. At the time of recording this video, you can see we are in autumn, full-blown autumn. It's really great out there. I got wet on my morning walk with Oscar. It's, you could say it's miserable. I don't mind. How do you feel about this time of the year? Maybe you like it, maybe you don't. A few days ago, I was in a beautiful sunny Spain with 25 degrees temperature and a bright sun. Today, I'm back in my home in a grey weather, English weather, and I don't mind it. And I love autumn. You might like it, you might dislike it, that's okay. I really, really like it. I'm gonna take a sip of my really warm tea that I just made. So do you like it or do you dislike it? Absolutely fine, whatever your answer is. It is an individual way that we relate to our inner experiences and relate to our environment. One thing that really helped me from managing my moods, from really to be able to look after myself as I am getting older, is to embrace the seasonal living, is to really allow myself to embrace the opportunities and the challenges that come with each season. And autumn is a really interesting season for me because the summer is over, the kids are back to school, we are back into our usual routines. And even if you don't have kids, it's still the same. There is something in the air. There is this new academic year feeling because we've all been conditioned with it, because we all come through educational system in the Western society. Um, and so we know that September, it's the back to school kind of stuff is everywhere. Everybody is advertising around that energy on TV, on radio, in the shops. You cannot avoid it. But it's also the season of an invitation to start slowing down. Start slowing down, start really reflecting on how the year has been. It's the last quarter of the year. It's also about really slowing down towards the winter. And yet, and I'm sure you know that, within our society, it's also an invitation to start being manically busy for the winter season. And I'm already seeing the emails and the advertising online and on social media around Christmas. Take that for a moment. Let it sink in. Christmas is coming. And there is this separation between what the society wants us to do, i.e., being um, within the energy of partying and going out and spending lots of money and celebrating, and what the nature is inviting us to do. And that is slowing down, hibernating, uh, winter introspection, um, taking time to really sleep and recover from the busyness of the year, taking time to look after ourselves, taking time to dream also about the next year and the potential and opportunities that it's bringing with it. And so the question in here for you is, What do you do? Do you live more in line with the natural nature seasons? Or do you live more in line with the society's expectations of being really busy around that time, of spending lots of money, often the money that you don't really have, of throwing big parties, seeing lots of people, going lots of places? Take a moment to reflect on that. Because with that comes a lot of consequences. And one of those consequences that I see so often and I've experienced myself is the post-Christmas and post-New Year crash, where people have people have overindulged in food and drink, especially alcohol and partying. And then there is a dry January where people spend all the money and then got no money in January, where there is an exhaustion and crash and depression even in January and February, because this way of living, so detached from nature, is unsustainable. So again, my invitation to you here is reflect on that. Reflect on the last couple of years. How have you, and maybe the last 20 or 30 years, I know it's been different for me in different life stages, life seasons. When I was younger, definitely it didn't impact me. As I've moved towards my mid-40s and 50s, it definitely has got a bigger impact for me on my well-being, on my physical health, on my mental health, if I do not make adjustments for the season that I'm living in. What is true for you? What resonates? What's kind of landing for you? I'd love to know. I'd love to know. And so, really understanding that there are always consequences. If you take the path of doing as you've been doing it before, there will be consequences. If you change it, there will be other consequences. It's not like one path has got consequences, the other hasn't. There are always consequences. But the invitation of the slow and embodied living is that we live more in tune with our own needs, that we slow down to notice those connections, the systems within our body, the systems within our lives, how we're living, and the impact of the decisions that we make on our well-being, on our relationships, on our work, on the wholeness of our life. When we shift into the systems thinking in everything that we do, something profound happens. It's not just the way that I live my life right now as we are moving into autumn, is how it impacts everything else that I do. My body, my well-being, my state of health, physical, mental, my relationships, my quality of my sleep, my weight. Big thing for women as we move into autumn of our lives. My energy levels, my focus, my perimenopausal, menopausal symptoms, my level of and quality of presence, my creativity, my finances. We talked about finances and Christmas. My ability to make decisions, my sense of ease or disease, and of flow, my sense of joyfulness and being happy about my life on many different levels. All of this is the systems within which we live and how interconnected everything is. So today, my invitation for you is to reflect a little bit on seasonal living, what it means for you, whether you've been living in line with seasons or whether you've been just following your mind or the expectations of the society or other people and doing things because other people are doing them. Or maybe noticing, just like I have been doing, how changing into embracing more seasonal living and the season of my life, honoring it and really listening to my body by creating more spaciousness and simplicity and responding with curiosity and kindness to the needs of my body, how much of a difference it's made in a positive way. And what would be one thing if you notice that you've been living through your mind, through the expectations of the society, through your conditioning, and disconnected from your body and the seasonal living? What would be one thing that you could do that is achievable and accessible to you that would make the biggest difference? That could be changing the way that you eat. It could be switching off all the, not looking at your phone or your computer at some point at night. Many people talk about 9 o'clock in the evening, maybe going to bed every day or some days a little bit earlier, allowing yourself to read a book and unwind or listen to some meditation. Maybe it would be doing morning practices. Maybe it would be drinking more lovely tea, warm kind of stuff. Maybe it would be letting go of some projects. Maybe it would be having a massage once a month or once a week. Maybe it would be doing some physical movement, more physical movement. Maybe it would be going for a walk first thing in the morning or lunchtime, so you get some proper air and proper fresh air and some light when there is light, because it's getting dark really early in the evening. Maybe it would be finishing work a little bit earlier. Maybe it would, it could be so many different things. But what resonates? What's one thing that would help you embrace more seasonal living in alignment with nature? Not against it and not forcing through anything, any agenda or any outcome. And I'd love for you to let me know. As always, I always love to hear what it means for you, how it resonates, how you're finding it. Let me know. Let's have a conversation about this. And for now, I really wish you a great day and see you next time.